Hey everyone, welcome back to DIY Beauty on Purpose. My name is Leonette and I'm so excited that you are here with me today. This episode has 7 unique wreaths you are going to love. DIY, I am going to start with this ring wreath form from the Target dollar spot. It was only $3 and I love it. I'm going to create a wreath using a canvas here a canvas wreath using drop cloth here. And I have had this drop cloth now for so long, ever since like the Christmas season. And I have some leftovers, so I am going to use 6-inch wide piece. Using my Cricut, I cut out the word welcome. And I am going to stencil it right on the drop cloth using a makeup sponge and Waverly chalk pen in the ink. I'm going to place it right in the center and I am going to secure it on the back. I'm going to use hot glue. The key here is that I want it to be snug enough where it's not going to fall off, but at the same time not looking stretched. So I'm just going to hot glue the one side first. Any side is fine. I'm just going to hot glue it just so that it is hot glued. And then when I'm doing the other side, I am going to stretch it just a bit more so that it is snug and it's not going to, again, slip off. For extra, I guess, security, I'm just going to add some hot glue right where the drop cloth as well as the ring meets in each corner. That way it just adds a little bit more security. Now I'm hoping this wreath is in a covered porch. I'm actually going to sell this one. So, but we'll see. Anyways, I am going to take these florals and I am going to wrap around in the center, joining them together with some jute twine. And then I'm going to hot glue it to the left side of the welcome word. And I'm also going to take some floral wire and I am going to tighten it on the back. So I'm just going to thread the wire. I'm going to do it 3 times or in 3 spots. I'm going to thread it just like you see here and I'm going to tighten it really tightly in the bag, again, just to make sure it's nicely secure. And then I'm going to take a peony. This all came in the same pick, in the same flower bush. And I'm just going to thread, I'm going to add hot glue, and then I'm going to thread the stem right through the drop cloth. And then on the back, I'm going to bend it just again, secure it a little bit more. But of course, it has a ton of hot glue, so I don't think it's going anywhere. To cover up the wires from the back, I'm just going to take another piece of drop cloth and hot glue it to the back, making sure it looks nicely finished. And then I am going to take some Dollar General ribbon, and I'm going to place it or loop it in the top so that it can be hung. And that's it for this one. A beautiful, beautiful wreath. I love the way this turned out. So chic, so boutique style. And yeah, I may keep it, but I think I am going to sell it. For this next DIY, I'm going to take this 1 by about 8 inches or so. It's not an actual pine board. This is just a piece of scrap wood that was at the hardware store. It was a longer piece and I just cut it to this size. It's about 18 inches long. I'm going to place it right on top of this wreath form that I got at Michael's. It is absolutely beautiful. It's golden tone. It was originally $14.99 and it was 50% off. So I got it for about $7.99 and I thought it was perfect. I'm going to place it right where I think I want it, and then I'm going to flip it over and staple it. I'm going to heavily staple it because I do not want to attach anything to the other side. I want it to look clean and not have any glue or any wire hanging out. So once I have it attached, I am going to stencil the word welcome using a reusable stencil that I got several months ago. Oh gosh, probably over a year now. And I'm just going to use some Waverly Chalk Pen in the ink tone and a sponge wedge for makeup.
I lose my breath whenever I see you. You stole my heart, what is it that you do? My life was great till you added colors.
Now it's time to start placing some florals. These beautiful blue, I think they're hydrangeas, I got from Walmart. They were about $6 each. They're a little bit more on the expensive side, but man, are they worth it. They're so beautiful. I'm going to place 2 of them. So I cut off most of the stem, and as you can see, I just placed it there through the mesh, bent it, and then with some crafting wire, I am going to just secure it in the back. And I'm going to do the same with a second flower as well as some greenery that I got at home several months ago. And I do not want to cover the entire golden mesh. I really like that look and that style. So I'm going to keep it on the light side when it comes to florals. But once I add the greenery, we'll be done with this one. And I think this one is absolutely breathtaking. I love that golden tone in contrast with the blue flower. It's just beautiful.
Like the moon needs the sun, we don't care about the others. You set my world on fire. You're my heart's desire. I just wanna love you, just wanna hold you, just wanna be with you till we grow old. Please tell me you'll stay or take me away. I want you for myself every single day. You set my world on fire. You set my world on fire. I don't know what I'd do without you. You make me smile, what is it that you do? My life was great till you.
For this DIY, we are going to start with this grapevine wreath that I recently thrifted at the Goodwill. I am going to remove all the Christmas decoration that it had on, even though they were okay. They were pretty old and dated, and they just were just a little too messy. So I want to take everything off, and we are going to give it a brand new look, very elegant and very grand. So clean it up, remove everything, making sure that anything that is loose will come off. So I'm just shaking it off, and it's pretty old wreath. You can tell that it's been around for a while, but it still has a lot of life in it. I'm going to take this Magnolia leaf pick. It's from Hobby Lobby. It was originally $19.99, but I got it at 40% off. So I thought it was a pretty good deal. The leaves are stunning. This is such a realistic pick. I love it. It's actually my last one, so I have to go back and get a few more because I really love the way they look. I separated or cut off every branch off of it, and now I'm going to start just placing them inside the grapevine. Some are going to be facing upwards and some are going to be facing downward, but they're all going to be kind of like towards the right side of the wreath. And so when you're making a wreath, if you have made one, you know that you often have to decide where you're going to put the decorations. Is it going to be all over the wreath? Is it going to be at the bottom, on the top, on the left, or the right, or half of it? So in this case, it's going to be more on the right side. So I am placing the leaves where they kind of fall to upwards and downwards, but they're all going to meet in the center. I am not going to take these, have no clue what they are. I still don't know what they are, and I should just read the little tag, and I didn't even read them. But they look like berries or olives. I'm not quite sure what they are, but they're from the Dollar Tree. And I separated again just little branches off of the one pick. And I'm going to take 3 little branches and start just hot gluing or adding some hot glue to the bottom and just placing them where I think it's going to be nicely to the eye, I guess. And I'm going to place 3 on the top and 3 on the bottom. I am now going to take this white sunflower that I think it's stunning. I want to say I also got it at Hobby Lobby, and it was a little longer ago. And I just cut off the remaining stem that it had, and I added a lot of hot glue, and I'm literally just going to push it down right there in the center, and that's it. This wreath is by far one of the most beautiful wreaths I've ever made. I am so in love. I'm not sure if I'm going to sell it in my booth. I may keep this one because I'm just so in love with it. For this next DIY, I am going to take this picture frame that I thrifted actually quite a while ago. And I'm just going to start by painting the inner rim, so that darker rim portion, in a solid white, and I am using Rust-Oleum chalk pen in the linen white. I am now going to take a chippy brush and I'm just going to start dabbing it into the paint and dry brushing the remaining portion of the frame. So what's remaining in the dark gray. And at first I was just going to do a few little brushes here and there, but I ended up adding more because it just felt right. It just didn't feel like it was quite finished. So I just added layer upon layer and even did it like a sideways motion, and it just added a lot of texture and a lot of more coverage. I added a little bit heavier even in the corners just to add a little bit of dimensions. I just love doing that sometimes when I'm dry brushing or adding texture. What I'm doing here is I am blending the full white inner rim with the dry brushed one. It was just too much of a contrast between each other, so I'm just going to blend in where those two where the solid white and the dry brush meet. I'm just blending it so it's a little softer in between one to the other. And then I decided to add a little bit more of dry brush right on the corners and the edges, just to again just adding until I saw what I liked.
I have never felt home till you entered my door, and from that moment I knew that a home is whatever.
Once I had the frame where I wanted, I am now going to take this pick from Hobby Lobby. Actually, not Hobby Lobby, it was Walmart. And I'm going to remove some of the stem because it's a little long and thick. And then I'm going to whiten it. So just split it into two sections. And one, I just decided to do the longer portion of it to the bottom of the frame. And then the ones that were a little shorter, but they're about the same, to the other side. I'm going to add a lot of hot glue here in the corner, and I'm going to place the stem right there. However, I am going to use some ribbon to make sure that it's secured in place. So once I have it in place where I want it, I'm going to hot glue the ribbon to the back of the frame, and I'm just going to wrap it around a few times until it is secure. And now I am just making sure that all the leaves and all the branches are where I want them. So I'm just moving them forward or sideways or whatever I see that I want to see on this on this decor. So now I'm going to take these leftover picks that I've had from other projects. They're not the same, but they do have the same color scheme. So I am going to use the little berry kind of style on the bottom portion of the frame, and the one with the flowers here, I am going to hot glue and place it towards the side of the frame. This is just going to add a little bit of color, and I just think it just looks beautiful. And then I'm going to take this hydrangea. Is that a hydrangea? I think so. From Hobby Lobby, and it's in the lighter tones, like a beige color. I removed all the stem and I added a whole bunch of hot glue, and I'm just going to hot glue it right there in the corner just to tie everything together. And I think it looks stunning. This is so elegant. It is so fresh looking, and I think it would be beautiful in any home decor. DIY, I am going to take one of these Dollar Tree wreaths, and I'm just going to tie a couple of just knots here on one of the sides, or in this case would be the top of the wreath form. And this is because I'm going to be cutting the wreath. So I'm going to be cutting one end, and I don't want everything to come undone. So I just want to tie it a few times on each side of the cut that I'm going to be making.
To be home, passing by those little towns I know so well, stopping for gas, and then I'm behind the wheel again.
And then once I had it cut, I just stretched it out just a little bit. I'm not looking for it to be completely flat, of course, because it's going to be a wreath form, but I want it to be open. I saw a wreath recently at Hobby Lobby. It was my first time walking into Hobby Lobby in years, and I was so overwhelmed with so many beautiful things, and I saw a wreath there that looked very similar to what I am going to be making here. So I am going to wrap the ends of each end with some nautical rope from the Dollar Tree. And as you can see, I added a strand right as I was like halfway through. That way I have something to hang the wreath from, and you'll see it. It'll all come together. So I'm just going to hot glue and wrap around as needed. And then when I get to the end, I am just going to wrap it around the nautical rope that is vertically, just so that I can finish it off. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side.
Chase my soul, I'm driving to get away, running through emotions high and low, holding on or letting go, I'm fighting.
And look how beautiful that wreath is already looking. So I'm going to take these picks. These are from the Dollar General, and I believe they're like eucalyptus. And I'm just going to start, I literally pulled every strand apart, and I'm just going to start placing them. I'm not even going to hot glue. I'm just going to stick it right in, and I'm going to just focus on the bottom of the wreath, kind of like circling up towards the sides. Once I had everything where I wanted, I did add some wire. This is just so that everything stays put and it doesn't fall downwards with gravity. And then I'm going to place some of these beautiful, it's like a vibrant, like a reddish orange color, and I just love them. They're from the Dollar Tree, and of course they're just $1 for the pick. So I cut off all the flowers from the pick, and now I'm going to do the same thing. Just press them in until I see what I like. And we are just about done, guys, and I'm so excited I started with this one because it is just beautiful. I love the way it looks. I love how it has a farmhouse yet very almost very tropical to it. I just really love the way it turned out. All right, for this next DIY, I'm going to take one of these Dollar Tree Easter welcome signs. I have used them over and over again because I bought so many of them. I just love the size of the board. And I'm going to remove the little tails as well as the first, like the portion that has the artwork. I am not going to take this crafting paper that was sent to be my Massey during my last challenge. She got it on Amazon. And I'm just going to, I sprayed it with some adhesive spray from the Dollar Tree. And then on the bottom portion, I'm going to use the scrap leftover piece right there and just add it through using some tacky glue.
Push all the limits with you right now. So watch your feelings, the city's screaming, we're not coming home tonight. We're living quick in the world, gotta get it right now. People talk and tell what you wanna hear now, but they all disappear, they will let you down. So
I am not going to take this wreath form from Target Dollar Spa. I'm going to remove the saw claw hook on the back, and then I'm going to just leave it like this. You're not going to see a lot of it, but you will see a little bit of it, enough where it's going to add a little bit more detail, and it's also going to add a little bit more thickness to the board, because I'm going to be stapling some greenery here in a little bit. So I'm just going to hot glue it to the center of the board. And now, as you see here, I'm going to start stapling literally pieces of greenery that I have had here for a while. Some random pieces, and what I was looking for here is I wanted it to have like a wreath form that was very random, that was very almost like naturally grown out in the fields, and it's just been tangled up with all kinds of other flowers and things. That's my description, my official description for this wreath. And so yeah, I'm just going to speed it up like you see here, because I am literally just adding and stapling until I see what I like. And that's it for this one, guys. I did add that claw hook to the back of it so I can hang it, but I think it turned out so unique, so beautiful. Let me know what you think of this one down in the comments.
we better stick together, let's come whatever, we're not coming home tonight. We're living quick in the world, gotta get it right now. We only need the two of us together. I need only you in this crazy world.
We are going to upcycle this wreath I got at the Habitat for Humanity for $2. Such a great deal. I love these grapevine wreaths. They are so versatile, and I just love the rusticness and the farmhouse style they have. I'm going to use one of these picks. I got these, I believe it was at Walmart. I'm going to pull it all apart as you saw there, cut every little branch so that it's a separate one, and we're going to start hot gluing them to the left side of the wreath. Now, you've seen probably a million wreaths being done, and this one is going to be a little different though. We are actually not going to add any bows, no ribbons, nothing. Say what? I know, I even surprised myself, but I wanted it to have a very natural look. I wanted to look like it was made by nature itself. So we're just going to start placing and hot gluing all of the branches. One's facing bottom, one facing to the top, making sure everything's spread out as naturally as possible and not adding too much hot glue where you see it. And we're going to start with the larger picks, and then we're going to start working ourselves down to the smallest ones. If you are enjoying this video, I would love for you to take a second and give me a thumbs up. A thumbs up on this video will allow more people to see it, and it would help my channel grow. You can also give me a super thanks, which will help support my channel even more, and you can find it directly to the right side of the thumbs up. So we are approaching the end here, and as you can see, the picks start getting smaller and smaller, and these two leaves are the smallest one of the pick. And I'm going to place them right in the center. That this is what's going to replace having a bow right in the center of the wreath, which is normally where you would put a bow or some kind of ribbon. But in this case, I'm going to hot glue the leaves in a way where it's going to cover the center and it's going to look pretty natural, because again, I just don't want this wreath to have any ribbon, any bows. I want it to look very natural and again, look like it was just naturally made in nature. I would love to hear from you. What do you think of this wreath? Is it too simple, too plain, or is it just perfect? I seem to love it. I love simplicity and I love the way it just looks so natural. And the fact that it did not need any ribbon, any bows, I absolutely love it. But let me know what you think down in the comments. This is it for today. Thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate you taking the time to watch and join me today. And if you are visiting for the first time, welcome. I hope you consider joining our YouTube family. And if you are returning, thank you so much for coming back. I am going to have a playlist here once again with tons of inspiration for you. It's a playlist and a video. If you want to just click on the thumbnails and you'll get to have a lot more of inspiration. Have a blessed day and I'll see you later. Bye.